welcome back to Channel. Today I'm going to be working on my Predator generator 8750 that I picked up from Harbor Freight about 3.5 years ago or so. This is my third summer, getting ready to go into my fourth winter on it. It's been a great generator. I probably got over 60 hours on it. We lose our power quite a bit here in the wintertime. Lately we just lost our power for about 8 hours, and as it was running I noticed it was doing a lot of searching, as you saw before I started the video. And I decided, well, it's probably time to go put a new plug in it and probably clean it all up. Well, as I was online looking for a tune-up kit, I come across a complete tune-up kit with a carburetor, air filter, spark plug, everything that I need to go ahead and tune this up for 22 bucks. So I went ahead and did it. It just started doing its searching, and I'm not even going to bother cleaning it. I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. For 22 bucks, you can't go wrong. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what I've done is I've put this on my scissor lift so I could get it up in the air and work on it. This is normally sitting in a little small building, but I want to kind of get it right up there. You're going to need a little bucket or something to drain the fuel from the carburetor. I'm using the Cobalt tool set for this project, so that might help you. Oh, and I'm also using the magnetic tray, so just to kind of put all the nuts and bolts in. So we're going to go ahead and start disassembling everything. Make sure your fuel is off. Now I'm going to be completely in control of this, but just like with everything, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect one side of the battery here, so just in case something malfunctions, and I don't want to be around that when it happens. So just going to go ahead and disconnect one side of the battery. Now right below the carburetor there's going to be a 10 millimeter bolt. Go ahead and remove that, loosen it up, and get your container ready. Once you've loosened up with a ratchet, you might be able to just take your screwdriver. And what that's going to do is going to release any fuel that's left over in the carburetor. Alright, from here let's go ahead and remove the filter, air filter cover. Remove the filters themselves. And it looks like before we can do anything, we need to remove this front faceplate piece. And that is going to be an 8 millimeter. Should be able to remove that. Now before we can move this metal shroud, we're going to have to disconnect a couple of things. One of them is this line here. So take your needle nose pliers, kind of pull that off to the side, and this hose here just kind of sits down in. In fact, we can just pull that right out of there, get that right out of the way. And then we have a 10 millimeter down below here that needs to come off. And now we should be able to remove this from the carburetor itself. Alright, just carefully pull that out of there. I'm going to pull just this piece, not the carburetor as well, because we have to disconnect the linkage. Alright, so now let's get that out of the way. Now, the carburetor is now loose to pull out of there, but we still have to remove the linkage and the fuel line. So I think what we'll do is we'll remove the fuel line. Get that out of the way. The kit's supposed to come with a new fuel line as well. Alright, and now we have this unit here. This is what keeps the fuel from going into the engine when it's not running. So we need to disconnect that. Just follow that down. It should just unplug. And you're going to have to pull these clips out. Probably getting these out without breaking is going to be almost impossible, but I was able to get that one. Let's see if I can get this one. There we go. Good. So I'll be able to reuse those. This is one of those impossible shots. Do the best I can. what you need to do is to remove the linkage is you want to open the throttle up as far as it will go, and then right on the top here you just want to push that tab over ever so slightly and remove that rod. That rod's going to lift straight up. Be careful with that spring. Alright, once you've done that, now release the throttle and very carefully lift up on that spring. Maybe if I do it with needle nose you can see it better. Just lift up on that spring ever so slightly and remove it. Being careful not to disturb or alter that spring. Very important. And then very carefully just set that out of the way. So I'm hoping you kind of saw how I did that, but that's as close as I could get the camera. I've got a lighting issue or something. Alright, once you've done that, just go ahead and pull that carburetor right out of there. And there it is. Doesn't look all that bad, but I'm sure it's probably dirty inside. Now the part we've been waiting for. Let's just see what we get for 22 bucks. There's our filter. That's a no-brainer right there. Okay. Some sort of spacer unit here. Alright. Some components here that will not work on this motor. I know that for sure. My on and off switch doesn't use this, but my the motor on my wood splitter does use that, so I might use it for that. Look at that, spark plug, 2 fuel filters, and this is what I'm waiting for right here. Right there. Brand new carburetor. Oh yeah. And then there's the choke handle. Perfect. And we have some gaskets. Nice. Okay, I brought the other one over, and they are identical, other than obviously the numbers that are stamped into it. But I really don't see much of a difference on these. And I found out where that little screw that came with it went. That actually is what holds the choke handle on. So I can actually put that in there right now. Goes down there like that. And let's go ahead and screw that on. There we go. And this here is for if it's non-electric start. Mine's electric start, so I don't need this switch here. And this is for the low oil cutoff. And again, where mine's electric start, it's a little bit different, so I don't need those 2 items. Actually, what I'll do is I'm going to use one of the fuel filters, and I'm going to use all 3 of these gaskets. So let's go ahead and take it over with our new spark plug and put this thing together. Let's go ahead and replace that spark plug right now while I'm thinking of it. Okay, there's the old one. Okay, let's go ahead and put our new one in. Alright, let's get back on the carburetor. Okay, our first gasket. Slide that over like that. Now, I've just discovered that there is a difference in this spacer piece here. This one here, it's set over a bit further for the plug wire to sit down inside there, whereas this one here, it's too far out this way. So this unit will not work on here, so I'm going to have to reuse this one right here. So I really don't see any reason why I cannot use this. It looks good. I don't see any cracks or anything, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. That way I can put my wire right back on there. So, all right. So that's the only thing I've noticed that I cannot use. Again, this may have been set up for a non-electric start. There must be a bit of a difference on this. All right, let's keep moving forward. This one here. In the carburetor. And then this gasket here, which goes like that. Alright, and I might as well work on the fuel line while I'm right here, because once we put this other piece on, it's going to be hard to get in there. There's probably nothing wrong with this fuel line. but I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. They sent it. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and put the fuel line on. And it comes with some nice little clamps here. I'm going to clamp that on. And then normally I would just go in there like that. It's what they had, but they sent these little fuel filters. So we're going to go ahead and put this in line. There's an arrow to make sure you go in the right direction. So I'm going to go, I guess I'm going to put that right about there. So let's go ahead and cut that. And make sure we're going the right direction, and we are. And this is not going to need any kind of a clamp. That's a pretty snug fit right there. Losing my gasket over here. Alright. And now, put this on the bottom of the carburetor. Clamp that. And let's see how I'm going to do this here. Probably something like that. Let's try that. There. Perfect. Right, next, we need to get the electrical connection here hooked back up. So I just took these little clips off the other one. And all we need to do is just open those up. Slide that on there like that. And push them back down in that hole that we took them out of. There's one. And then the other one goes like this. There we go. Go ahead, just plug those back in. Just like that. Okay, if you remember right with the linkage, we had to be really careful on how we did this. So I'm just going to reverse the process, and I'm going to do the spring first. So I'm going to bring that spring over. I'll use my needle nose. And I don't think I can. I'm going to have to use my fingers. Bring that over. Set that in the hole, just like that. And then on the linkage itself, bring that up. You're going to have to give it full throttle so you can get it in there. And it'll snap right in. It's a really hard shot to get, but there it is. We're ready to put this plate back on, and that's our last gasket is going to go up against here. So go ahead and remove the old gasket. Our new filter. Okay, a vent tube that came down, attached here. And then this one. And then the last nut went on the back side here. Let's go ahead and reattach the battery. Okay, I had to switch over to my iPhone. My iPad was full, and I kind of wanted to get this done. So here we go. First try. Turn on the fuel, and the fuel is slowly going down inside. Wait for that to trickle in. I see no leaks. Everything looks good. All right, fuel has stopped flowing. Here we go. Choke it. Well, there it is, $22 carburetor with all the other things that came along with it, fuel line, fuel filter, and the gaskets, and the air filter. You really can't beat it. So that's how it's supposed to sound. Before I did this, it was searching a lot. So I hope this helps you with your Predator 8750 generator from Harbor Freight, and stay tuned for the next one.